The Honourable Steve Whan.
Mr Deputy President, wild dog attacks are devastating for farmers, not just economically but also emotionally. The loss of stock is which have been cared for by a farmer and raised by a farmer is something which affects them very deeply. The brutality of the attacks is also extremely difficult for people to cope with. That's why it was very disappointing to hear the answer today from the Minister to my question about wild dogs in the South East. It demonstrated, unfortunately, an ignorance of the history of the issue in our area, but more importantly, a disregard for the farmers who are being affected. This year and last year have seen a significant increase in wild dog attacks in the South East. In an answer to a question on notice from 17 October this year, the Minister informed me that 2011 there was 59 dog attacks overall, 2012 177, and as of 17 October for 2013 164. Since then I'm aware there's been other attacks in the South East. That large increase in attacks has been particularly near the southern Kosciuszko National Park and also in South East Forest National Park. Dalgety and Numbla Vale have been particularly affected. So what can we do about it? Back in 2003 we rolled out Monero cooperative wild dog plans, so nil tenure plans based on the very successful model used in Brindabella. I was involved in meetings at the time with national parks, the LHPAs and landowners, and was also able to secure a significant boost in funding for the program. In fact, in the first four years of my tenure as member for Monero, we spent 16 times more on wild dog control than the previous coalition government did in their last 4 years. Those plans were very successful, and from what I can tell, many of those resources are actually still there. The question is, are they being used as effectively? At the time, we did several things. We reintroduced aerial baiting and also ensured that there was more trappers employed in the area. We looked at the location of baits in the park and so on. Now, no farmer in the local area has said to me that the answer to this is recreational hunting in a national park, because it's not, and that is an ignorant position to take. Recreational hunting might be something that was lobbied for by the shooters and fishers, but tackling wild dogs needs professional trappers. It needs a combination of shooting, baiting, ejectors, aerial baiting, and people on the ground who are actually there all the time trying to get this work done. What we do know from the period where these cooperative plans were in action, and they were successful for quite a number of years, is that we saw significant reductions in sheep kills by wild dogs, and we also saw impressive increased sightings of quolls, which is one of the animals which people feared would be affected by baits. In fact, what happened was that the quoll population appeared to increase. Rangers started reporting many more sightings of spotted quolls around the area. Indeed, I actually even saw some, which is a very rare event. So it's something which had a great benefit both for the native wildlife and for the farmers in the region. But unfortunately, we seem to have slipped back in some of that progress. We saw a report on ABC of grazier in Dalgety, Liz Miners, who said that she'd lost 70 sheep, valued around $7,000. I've had phone calls from grazier in Numbla Vale, who's had continual attacks, and is concerned that one of the things that might be happening recently is that that the actual trapping and baiting in the national park is occurring right on the edge and isn't going far enough into the national park to actually prevent the dogs from moving out. We are aware that from the evidence that's been provided and in a letter that was written to me by Ellen Green just recently and to many others, that they have identified that in some cases there is a single dog causing a large number of the problems which hasn't been able to be caught at the moment. But what is clearly needed is a return to gathering all the players in this together to talk about what's happening so that everybody is clear about the activity that National Parks is undertaking. In the answers to the questions on notice that I received from the Minister recently, she suggested that much of the resources are still in place in the area, although there does seem to be less trappers working than at its peak under the Labor government, and there also seems to be less baiting occurring in the park further in. I'm sure those are things which people who are genuinely interested in representing regional New South Wales would be interested in, And the minister, if he was actually being true to his National Party roots, instead of giving a glib political answer today, would have taken that seriously and come back to this House with a solution.